describing you. Can you describe yourself? I'm an animal lover. This means you love all kinds of animals. You might say, ever since I first visited the zoo as a child, dog and you want to talk to that neighbor about their dog, you can just say he and it's okay. The neighbor will maybe correct you and say, oh yes, she's a poodle. And then you can say, oh yes, what's her name? And you can use her when you find out. But in general, we use he or she for pets. A common word we use to describe pets is breed. What breed is your pet? But we often just say kind. What kind? About a dog. else, but he doesn't have an owner. He's a stray. He's a stray cat. Some cities around the world have a lot of stray cats or stray dogs. They don't belong to anyone, but everyone helps to take care of them. Everyone helps to feed them. In the US, this isn't very common. We don't have a lot of stray cats or a lot of stray dogs because animal shelters are a big part of American culture. A lot of people, when they want a pet, they will go to an animal shelter instead of buying a purebred dog or a purebred cat. So a lot of stray dogs or stray cats on the street will be taken to an animal shelter for someone to adopt. So you might say, my cat was a stray before we got him. He was a stray cat before we got him, and now he's just so friendly. The next level is domesticated. So this means a cat or dog or animal that was previously wild and now is very comfortable with humans. So we could use this for a lot of different animals like cows. Cows are domesticated. A long time ago they were completely wild, or horses. Horses were completely wild, but they have become domesticated. Over time, people have trained them to become comfortable with humans. They are domesticated. We often use this term for on his